Everybody like, hey, are you ready to go? Ready to go? Everybody like, hey.
Alright, what is up y'all? Soul here and welcome back to my story mode. There's a couple quick things that I really need to say, but I'm gonna do you guys a favor and add a few timestamps so that you can go ahead and skip my my rambling, if that's what you want to call it. But for those of you nice enough to stick around, thank you. I will not take up too much of your time. I just got a quick things on my mind that I need to say. I just wanted to say a quick thank you to everybody that's been supporting me on the channel for the last couple days to the week, okay? I've been having a lot of fun doing this, and I totally don't mind talking about Pokemon. I could go on and on all day for the most part, so I want to thank you guys again, and I hope you guys look forward to the stuff that I'm setting up for you in the future. For the newcomers, I would greatly appreciate it if you'd hit the subscribe button because I've got a couple of events that I'm setting up for the near future. And if you guys help me hit 3,000, I've got a little event that I'd like to set up for y'all very soon. So if you guys could help me reach that little goal, I'd be ecstatic. Moving on to the main point of the video here though, I've recently done a video explaining what I expect, but this is not the same thing. These are things that I want that would make 4th gen remakes perfect for me. Not everything that I say here is gonna be in tune with what you guys want, and I don't blame you, which is why we have a comment section. I want to hear what you guys want too, because not everything that I want here is going to be perfectly reasonable in your head, alright? You guys may not want exactly what I want, but hey, if you agree with me, awesome. Okie doke, without further ado, let's go ahead and move right on into things. Here is what I would want to make 4th gen remakes perfect. Because of the way that I organized this, I'm now looking at it and realizing that it would be a lot more sensible for me to, go backwards a little bit. So I'm gonna start with things that I actually want to keep from 8th gen, because believe it or not everything in 8th gen was absolutely terrible. For starters, I'm totally cool with HM still not coming back. I know that was a primary thing since 4th gen, but we haven't had mandatory HMs since Let's Go, and honestly, that was probably one of the most beneficial changes they've made to the series in a long time. I'm more than okay with not having to force an HM on a sacrificial mon just so that I can progress through the route. Funny enough, it was probably one of the only reasons I ever utilized a Rattata back in 1st gen remakes, but I'm now recently learning that Rattata is actually not that bad of a Pokemon, and it doesn't need to be just an HM slave. HM slaves! Remember when we had that term? Not a thing anymore. I'm totally cool with them keeping it that way. Speaking of move-related things, y'all can go ahead and keep the move or learning mechanic from Sword and Shield's Pokemon Centers a thing. Keep that. That was super useful, and I don't know what the hell I'd be doing without it now. Please, keep that around. I'm tired of having to go to the same one town, flying all the way back near the end of the game, just so I could fix up my team's friggin' movesets. Nah, we can keep that there. Another thing that I'd like to keep around was actually the Pokemon camps. Those were super cute. I was really thinking about it, and at first there was no real logical reason to keep these around, but then again, when you really think about it, not only can you level up your Pokemon and feed them and stuff like that, but playing with them and raising their friendship, that's actually super important and way more helpful than trying to battle with a shell belt on for the entirety of the time, when I could just raise their friendship in the camp for Pokemon like Riolu. Oh my god, guys, please bring back Pokemon camps. Do not leave those in the dust, please. Those are a phenomenal mechanic. Finally, the last thing that I want them to bring back is actually the concept of the Star Tournament. I like the Star Tournament. It doesn't really make much of a big difference, nor was it necessary or add too much, but the idea of battling alongside characters that you actually care about is a very nice concept, and it gives more incentive to just re-battle people, re-battle the league, or whatever you need to do. You could battle alongside people that you want to battle alongside against, and have fun with it again. I like the Star Tournament. Fight me on it. So that just about does it for the 8th gen stuff. I know it's not a lot, but there's not really a lot that you can implement from 8th gen that's not already implemented in the series going forward that isn't completely obvious. But there are some mechanics in that game that don't seem very completely obvious to bring back, and I want to make it obvious that they should be bringing those back, and those are them. So that's it for 8th gen stuff, so why don't we now start focusing on Gen 4 remakes themselves. First up, we're going to start with the story stuff, and then after that we're going to get into the gameplay. As far as the general overall story, honestly, I don't think that much needs to change here. Cyrus is wild as hell, and his goal was fairly simple, so he doesn't really need that big of an upgrade or a downgrade. He wants to be God, so let him try to make his attempt at becoming God. I'm gonna stop him, because, I'm the God, but he can try. If anything in this situation, I would just prefer it if they were to actually give us a little bit more backstory on Cyrus and possibly some more of the other characters. Mars, Jupiter, Pluto, man, let us know what the hell they're up to, alright? They joined Cyrus for a reason and they clearly have their own intentions for letting the world get destroyed, but it's kind of hard to imagine somebody walking up to you and being like, hey yo, I want to reset the entire universe and become God. You want to sign up for this? And them saying like, yeah, absolutely. Let's go. No questions asked. Let's take care of business. No, something happened to them to make them want to join up. I don't know exactly what that is, and maybe the story is out there somewhere, but I'd kind of like to see it on the big screen for everybody to see. All right, I just want to see that right in the game, because why not? Anyway, aside from just that, I don't know about y'all, but to be completely honest with you, if they somehow managed to find a way to comfortably corrupt Giratina with some crazy Gigantamax thing, I wouldn't be too mad about it. The raid battle concept at the end of Sword and Shield was a little neat, and to be honest, it would make a lot more sense for multiple people to be there battling together against the giant world-corrupting beast than just one person trying to catch it. Come on, that's logical, right? Am I crazy? I don't know, maybe I'm batshit insane, but fact of the matter is, that man is colossal as it is, so really, they don't even really need to utilize Gigantamaxing to make him huge, alright? Y'all have seen Giratina and the Sky Warrior. Took a ton of people to take that man down, or even get him to budge, alright? He doesn't really need to Gigantamax and get bigger. That would be terrifying. But it would be kind of epic if they did it right. Aside from Giratina though, let's talk a little bit about Lucas and Dawn. Personally, I would love it if you guys were to give them a little bit more presence and prominence, because they could be just as important of a rival as Barry. Because, just like Barry, they were around when you first became a Pokemon trainer. Also, just like Barry and you, they are also Professor Rowan's personal assistants. They might not necessarily have the exact same goal as you and Barry, but they have no reason that they can't grow as trainers just like you guys. I'm very prominent about this one because they actually did Wally absolute justice back in ORAS. By the time you were walking up to the end of Victory Road, Wally was standing there at the end of it, packing heat! Granted, he wasn't there all the way through the entirety of the time from what I remember, but you know what? They did a much better job with him in ORAS than they ever did in the originals, and I respect the hell out of that. I want more stuff like that. Lucas and Dawn should be there just like that, alright? I want fire in their eyes, bro, and I want to take that on. Speaking of rival things, you knew this was going to come up, I knew this was going to come up, everybody knew this was going to come up, and we all know it's probably going to happen anyway, but for the sake of begging, I'm just going to go ahead and beg that you do not give Barry the generic rival animation. Please. I know that it's very fitting for his character. I get it. He's a rival. He's very excited. He can't sit still. So honestly, I can't even be mad at you because that animation would probably fit Barry more than any of the characters we've known so far. But good God almighty, add something original. Please. He doesn't need the generic rival animation. Please. I beg of you. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. It's been, what is it, 3 games now? 4 games? I don't even know. Just, please. Please. Moving just a tidbit away from that, because talking about that will just make me more upset than I already am about it. Please do me the greatest favor of making the gym leaders more prominent in the situation. Considering the fact that they haven't been prominent since Gen 5 is kind of alarming to me. What in the world are some of the strongest trainers in the region doing that they are too busy to not deal with the end of the world? This has been an ongoing problem for a very long time, not just Gen 4, alright? I'm talking about the original Gen 4, I'm talking about the gens before it, and everything after Gen 5. Gen 5 told us, oh yeah, there's other characters that can help deal with the situation, not just maybe the champion on a good day and the main character. That don't even make no sense. All I'm saying is, Crasher Wake is a sick-ass dude, and I can't imagine him sitting there watching the television of whoever's recording the end, and sitting there like, somebody else deal with it. No, Crasher Wake is a beast, bro. He's gonna be the first one on the scene. Do not test me on that, bro. Alright, I'm just saying, I think they could do a little bit more. That's all. One of my final wishes regarding the story is just the fact that I want to see more detailed cutscenes and stuff like that. okay? They have more than enough time and budget for actual cutscenes, okay? The mini ones that we've been getting from the recent regions from time to time are kind of nice, but they could make something extravagant. They have no reason to hold back on that stuff, alright? When I walk into Eterna Forest, I want to see my trainer enthralled. I want to see their eyes widen, alright? I want to see some beauty in that bitch. I'm just saying, they have more than enough time and budget to make a lot of beautiful cutscenes. It doesn't always need to be the stiff, direct conversation that we have from text to text, okay? It doesn't need to be like that. We could have a little bit more. It doesn't have to be like that all the time, but sometimes. Just a little bit more, that's all I'm asking. Okay, I think we've just about gotten through everything that I want as far as changes for the major story. Let's now go ahead and hop into the gameplay itself. For starters, just Dawn or Lucas as playable characters is perfectly fine. If you need to focus on other things, character customization is easily one of the last things I care about in this situation. Just like back in 6th gen when we had character customization in X and Y, but not in ORAS, it could be the same situation here. We do not need to change what's not broken, okay? We have the characters, they fit the aesthetic, and they fit the thing. I don't know what the thing is, but I'm sure you can fill in that blank yourselves because, long story short, we just don't need it. I'm more than okay with leaving that kind of thing behind because honestly, I want you guys to improve on a lot of other things, starting with the graphical enhancements of the general game. And I'm not even referring to the animations at this point. I just mean the freaking grass, the backgrounds. I don't care how long it takes y'all to get that done, but I don't believe that Pokemon Let's Go should look relatively better than a mainline game. Even though I'm pretty sure that they said that Pokemon Let's Go was a mainline game. Are we really gonna count that? Are we gonna count that? Are we serious? Anyway, trees, grass, and background should not look as bland as it does for areas that we can't even reach. Water has no excuse to be looking like blue mud. I'm sorry, but no, y'all can do much better than that. Long story short, you've done better before and you can do it again. All you guys need to do is take your time. That's all I'm asking. Moving more into the nitty gritty of things, this was yet another one that was bound to come up sooner or later in this video. We have to talk about it. Please do your best to refrain from the overuse of Dynamaxing and Gigantamaxing. I know that's the overall gimmick of 8th gen, but you guys kinda already shot yourselves in the foot when you said that this was exclusive to the Galar region. So not only would you already have to destroy some of the world that we already know, but adding it wouldn't even make any sense in the long run because that completely goes against what you just said in your last games. If y'all really have to hand us a gimmick, honestly, just give us megas and be done with it. And when I say megas, I mean you have to give us at least a few new megas. Lopunny, Glade, Garchomp, Abomasnow, and Lucario are the only Mons of 4th gen that actually have megas already, and that's cool and dandy and all, but I think it's only fair to give the Pokemon that were introduced in this region some more megas. I'm not talking about all of them or anything, we don't need to go crazy, but I think, you know, Luxray, Crobat, Toxicroak, Staraptor, some very important Mons to the region that are, you know, some of the most popular, deserve some megas. You can shut me down on that if you want, but that's my personal belief. Disregarding the specific Pokemon, as far as the feature, y'all were able to bring it back in 7th gen even though we already had a gimmick, which was Z-moves. I don't see why not utilize the gimmick in a region that's not even supposed to have Dynamaxing or Gigantamaxing. And that's if we even need a gimmick at all, but the gimmick exists. Usually nowadays you need a gimmick. Just add that one. That one's not broken. Aside from all that though, why don't y'all make us work for our win like we did back in the day? The amount of trainers and levels between each route and everything like that were practically perfect. Try to recreate this the best possible way you can. Don't hesitate to give us double battles and stuff like that. Do not hesitate to give trainers full teams of Pokemon. Why not? People are trainers too. They're also going around collecting Pokemon, so there shouldn't be trainers at the end of the game that are only harboring like 3 Pokemon. Why y'all so close to the end rocking 3 Pokemon? Y'all ain't gonna get very far that way. If y'all seen Cynthia, you know damn well you ain't going nowhere with 3 Pokemon unless you're me, and you're not. In a way, what I just said kind of applies to the whole challenge factor, because we just want challenge back, honest to God, that's all we want. So while we're on that topic, why don't y'all give us the option to turn off experience share? Experience share was perfectly fine as an item to hold for your Pokemon in your party. I don't know why they decided to get rid of the item altogether and just make it a forced mechanic. That's kind of ridiculous. The setup that we have now literally takes away from the satisfaction of training our Pokemon ourselves. 9 times out of 10 in Sword and Shield, I was keeping my main Pokemon up front and forgetting to switch it out with other Mons because they were getting the exact same amount of experience as the one that I was actually training. So at that point, I was just like, okay, whatever. In my recent playthrough of Platinum, I actually had to go back and train my Pokemon, and that felt so good to finally evolve my Pokemon myself, to finally work up to the level that they needed to be to take on the next gym. Absolutely beautiful feeling. And of course, there was always the weakest Pokemon that I just caught that I wanted to add to my team, but they were too weak to train up front, so I just threw on the experience share, let them get to a solid level, and then put them up front when they were at a level that they could fight at. Just saying, guys, it's that simple. Oh, and while we're traversing the routes to fight trainers on, don't make them super linear, okay? We need actual routes again. Give us something to traverse and explore. 1 or 2 linear paths to the same area is not the wave. I miss being able to actually explore the area, explore the route, and find different things that I can't reach right now because I just don't have the right tools or equipment to get there. But when I do get them, I could come back and there's something else there to explore. I always love that feeling. It felt like such a big world back then, okay? And it really wasn't. When you really look at it, it wasn't, but it had the illusion of it because they added so much, and they could literally do that again. All they have to do is not keep it so linear. Give us stuff to explore again. It's that simple. Just recreate the routes, but in 3D. That's it. This kind of plays into what I said earlier about focusing on the graphical upgrades and stuff like that, but if you guys have to sacrifice a majority of the decks, I'm totally cool with that. Do what you have to. This game should mostly focus on Sinnoh Mons anyway, with a touch of other Mons from other regions here and there. However, this just leaves you literally no excuse to focus on other quality of life things to make the games look and feel better than ever. I'm gonna repeat this till I'm blue in the face. I'm so sorry that I'm a broken record, but I think all of us feel this way. I talked about this in one of my recent videos, but can y'all do me a quick favor and make the Poketch a smartwatch that actually does things? Okay, it could totally record our data, show us how much money we have, and if y'all have to make things so simple that everybody can play, maybe give us like a compass or a tip guide on where to go next if we get lost or confused. It's literally that easy. Y'all are trying to prove that we're in the future of Pokemon by giving us stuff like Rotom phones, and honestly, that's totally fine. I like the Rotom phone concept. And you know, now that I'm thinking about it, Rotom was introduced in Gen 4, wasn't he? Very interesting. I can absolutely dig on that all day, but long story short, y'all have a whole world to play with right there. Speaking of worlds to play in, my fingers are interlocked. I'm on my knees. I'm actually sitting in the chair, but I'm on my knees begging that y'all give us that wild area camera, but everywhere. That was the most mind-blowing thing we've ever seen in a Pokemon game. And that should be a usual thing by now for most games, I think. I get it. That top-down camera thing for most routes in cities or whatever is just how it do. But come on, I'm begging, please. I want to have that camera in a city, dude. That would be amazing. Tell me that wouldn't be the grandest thing you've ever seen. Please picture that free-floating camera in Jubilife City, the first city that we enter, okay? Imagine how beautiful that would look. I'm telling y'all, y'all have some serious opportunities. Speaking of cities, y'all have no excuse at this point not to give a little bit more life in the cities, okay? I'm cool with the, NPCs that walk around and stuff like that, but they barely even walk around. Most of them just kind of stand in place. It's a little creepy. Y'all can make a move a little bit. Let's have a couple conversations with people, okay? Y'all were able to make thousands of NPCs walk back and forth and actually say things in Gen 5. That's all. If Gen 5 can do it, Gen 8 can definitely do it. but you know, obviously maybe not as many as Gen 5. I don't know how the DS didn't pop, but I don't think the Switch could handle that many NPCs. This ain't the PS5, bro. Oh, and do me a favor while y'all are working on the cities, go ahead and bring Game Corner back for me. Funny thing about that one is, y'all could literally port the exact same version of Game Corner, and I would not be mad in the slightest. Y'all don't have to do much. Just upgrade the outside of it, but when you play the game, it doesn't have to be much. I just want Game Corner, that's all. I'm sure it would come back regardless if I asked about it or not, but just in case y'all are on the fence about it, don't be. Get that bitch back in there. Moving into more mechanic stuff here, why don't we talk about the underground for a second? I fully believe that the underground could be extremely fun if y'all just take care of that properly. Done right, I think a majority of our time could easily end up being spent in the underground. And honestly, as overpowered as the underground mechanics seem to be for you to obtain items that you need, like heart scales or evolution stones, they were kind of hard enough to find on their own as is, so having a guaranteed way to actually get them is kind of nice. A little underground minigame system where you meet other trainers and trap them while you steal their loot. That sounds like a hell of a time to me. How about y'all? Plus, if y'all really wanted to jazz it up and make it more fun, if you must, honestly, some motion control digging, that would be kind of fun. We switch between which hammer we use and, you know, the pressure of our hits depend on how hard we swing the Joy-Con or something, or maybe the remote, I don't know. I'm super with it. But hey, I can't craft the entire system for you. That's for y'all to do, but I think it has potential. Moving back above ground, the gym puzzles need to have a touch up. We know them more than well enough now. Sure, I admit, it would be amazing to see the puzzles that we already have in place reimagined in 3D, but we know them too well. It's not gonna recreate any challenge. I mean, granted, maybe it's not necessarily for us, maybe it would be for the newer fans of the franchise. However, I think even they would really appreciate something new and fresh, and even though I guess it technically would still be new and fresh for them, something a little more challenging for everybody would just be most beneficial. And speaking of fixing some goddamn puzzles, if y'all don't fix the freaking Distortion World puzzle, I'm gonna lose my mind. Running around with no rhyme or reason to push rocks into holes is not a puzzle, bro. The Distortion World literally has so much potential because of what you guys created in the past that I would not be able to fathom literally doing the same thing. The whole anti-gravity situation, the moving floating platforms, and the alive invisible to visible plant things, and y'all decided to make us push rocks into holes? Come on, y'all. There's so much to work with there. In these remakes, I fully expect the craziest puzzle in Distortion World. I want to get confused for a little while. I'm dumb. It's not hard to make that happen. Anyway, I'm very excited for y'all to probably most likely bring back contests. At least the one contest hall out in Hardhome City. I hope that one comes back in full force. I can't lie to you, I didn't really play much of the contests in the original or in the remakes of Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, so quite honestly, whatever y'all gotta do to make that happen and improve on it from the last ones, do what y'all have to do. I saw a little bit of it recently. It looks like kind of a dumb little battle situation, and I don't see why y'all would set it up like that when you could make animations for the Pokemon. Maybe if you were to spend a little more time on it, make some animations for the Pokemon and make them do cute little moves or something like that. Maybe something cool, maybe something flash, who knows? You know, I just want something new. And a battle simulation? I need to remind Fantina and her gang who the cutest fella in town is. No, it's not me. It's my Shinx with a hat. I want to show off my Shinx. Shinx is adorable. Now, I did mention earlier when I said that I wanted improved graphical style that I wasn't talking about the animations, but I take it back. I am now talking about the animations, and god damn it, y'all need to update the animations. There's no reason as to why these Pokemon are so stiff when doing their moves. Update that. Focus on the Pokemon that we have in the Sinnoh region and make them move just a little bit. There's no reason as to why games from over a decade ago are doing better in showing off flair and personality. okay? That doesn't make any sense. But aside from just the Pokemon, I mean the trainers too, okay? I want them to show actual expressions. I want more expression-full trainers. Alright? Y'all saw the trailer for Pokemon Snap recently. Dude was amazed to see that damn camera, bro. That was awesome. I want more expression on those faces. Keep going. The models are getting a little bit better as we go. I will give you that much. They were a lot less stiff than they used to be, but we can do better. It's only improving. Hopefully it gets just that much better down the line, okay? So hopefully the remakes are a step up from what we had last time. I have no doubt that they would be, but I'm just gonna say it out loud just so it's out there, okay? I could go on and on about animation all day, but really, the gist of it is, it could be better. That's all I'm saying. And now the final thing that would make the game absolutely perfect for me. I'm a very simple guy. Personally, we just need some real after game, okay? I don't care what y'all have to do. If y'all decide to utilize the Battle Frontier, cool. If y'all decide to bring back the Battle Tower or whatever we had in the last game, Sun and Moon, okay, do what you must. If y'all gotta make us surf to some weird little remote island that somehow allows Dynamaxing for whatever godforsaken reason, okay, whatever, it's something. You know what I mean? Because quite honestly, I won't lie to y'all, I spent most of my time in the wild area. I can't even be mad at that. We did a lot of raids together after the main game. That's all we did. So honestly, a wild area, if that's what you guys must do, kind of like what you did back in 7th gen when you introduced Z moves but allowed us to get Mega Evolutions after the fact, then okay, whatever. But if that is what you're gonna do, I just want something that's gonna invest our time before we get to the repetitive process of just doing raids and stuff like that. I want some genuine story-like events that occur after you become champion. But I'm gonna ask y'all right now to refrain from the looker missions, okay? I will give you guys props where props are due. Okay, the Looker missions kept us pretty invested, but I don't want Looker anymore. But at the same time, Looker is from 4th gen. Oh no, it's gonna happen, isn't it? Whatever. Me personally, I'm just not that big of a fan of Looker. I don't really care for the character very much. He doesn't do much for me, and I could live without him. Anyway, when I mean events, I'm talking actual events, maybe some legendary events. For example, maybe the Darkrai event, where we actually have to fall asleep and go to this other island. Nobody remembers that one because it was a limited time event that could only happen if you got your hands on that event. After that though, you were pretty much screwed. If you reset your game, you could never do that event again, because guess what? It is not available anymore. That little house up in Canalave, completely locked up. Y'all cannot get in there because we can't do that event anymore. Bring that back. That is a perfect after game event. And you could probably add more onto it. There's a whole storyline that we could do with Darkrai, okay? We have a whole movie based on that man. Also, while we're at it, why don't we give an event to the actual god of Pokemon, okay? We don't have a legal way to get Arceus anymore. Why? Why do we not have that? From what I know, even in the original event, you don't get much story on that guy. You just kind of play the flute and get him. But he's the god of Pokemon. Why is there no story on the god of Pokemon? Am I crazy here to think that's kind of ridiculous? I don't know. Anyway, I think real true story events that happen after the main game with these two mons would be the perfect and best legal way to finally obtain them, because we haven't been able to legally get them, I think, in a very long time. Even in the legendary raid dens in the Crown Tundra DLC, y'all straight up neglected them. Why? I don't get it. I've been asking for Darkrai for so long. Why are y'all keeping him away? Did I do something wrong? Did I do something wrong? I love Darkrai so much. Y'all must hate me. But do everybody else a favor. Not just me. Do everybody else a favor and unlock those men. Let them out of their cells, bro. Alright? They've been locked up long enough. Come on, it's time. So anyway, that just about does it for what would make Gen 4 remakes perfect for me personally. And I was actually thinking about covering the music, but I'm no artist in that sense, okay? I don't really make music, so I can't really tell you what would be right or wrong to make the music perfect, but I think at least in the music department, they know what they're doing. I'll leave it to them. I think they'll do just fine, okay? I like the remixes in ORAS. I really did. I have no problem with the original soundtrack, and I am in love with the newer soundtrack. So, honestly, if y'all got it down pat, I'm gonna leave it to you. I think they could get that one right. Realistically though, I expect close to none of this to be done the right way. Some of it, absolutely. Maybe the Poketch thing, maybe the underground thing, and you know, obviously the updated graphics, everything's gonna look better over time, but overall, I'm not expecting a whole lot here, okay? I'm reaching for the stars with a lot of this, even though it shouldn't feel like it, but it kind of is, which is a little sad, but hey, honestly, I think that I'm gonna have a good time with the game regardless, and we're gonna be playing it a lot. Okay, just as much, if not more, than Sword and Shield, because it's Pokemon, and it's a Pokemon game that we've been asking for a very long time. So, we're gonna play it, we're gonna have fun. Whoo, boy. Well, that was definitely a long one, wasn't it? I sincerely apologize for talking your guys' ears off. There was just a lot here to cover, and honestly, this wasn't even the video that I was planning on making for today. And this one's actually a little bit late because I was actually very hesitant on making the other one, but I might do that one anyway, so we'll see what happens. But either way, I apologize. But yeah, that's pretty much everything that would make Gen 4 perfect for me. But you know what that means? I want to hear what would make Gen 4 remakes perfect for you. Alright, I'm gonna be down there. So let me know in the comment section what you want out of Gen 4 remakes. Y'all opposed to anything that I said? Hey, let me know. Tell me why. I want to hear why some of the things that I want would be unrealistic or would be absolutely stupid. Because, trust me, some things I don't think all the way through. These are just simply off the top of my head things that I would want. But we don't share the same views, okay? Maybe you'll open my eyes to something different. May change my opinion. We'll see what happens. But I want to know. But anyway, I think that's just going to go about... or what? That's gonna do it. Jesus Christ. So, anyway... that's it. I'm gonna ask you guys to do me the favor once again of subscribing because I want bigger things to happen on this channel for y'all. Okay, I want to thank y'all for supporting me with this little ongoing Gen 4 series that I have here. So, but I want to do more for you guys. So let's work on that. So if y'all could get me to 3,000, I would be a very happy camper. I'd be a very happy camper. So do that for me, and I've got some big surprises in store for you. So. Drop a like, drop a comment, and I'm gonna skedaddle on out of here. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!